The architect scene in Matrix Reloaded broke everyone's brain. Dense dialogue, cryptic terms, philosophy majors arguing in Reddit threads for 2 decades. People rewound that scene 50 times trying to decode what the hell just happened. This isn't just movie trivia. If you missed what the architect actually said, you missed the entire point of the trilogy. You've been watching The Matrix thinking Neo is the liberator, the chosen one breaking free from the machines. But this scene proves you've been fooled the whole time. One line buried in that conversation changes everything you thought you knew about the war between humans and machines. Neo walks into a white room filled with monitors. Sitting there is an old man in a suit who speaks like he swallowed a thesaurus.
I am the architect. I created the Matrix.
He's not a person, he's a program, the original designer of the prison you've been living in. Think of him as the head engineer of human captivity.
I've been waiting for you.
This isn't their first meeting. The architect has had this exact conversation 5 times before with 5 other people who thought they were the one. Neo thinks he's special. The architect is about to shatter that delusion completely. The architect isn't explaining things to help Neo understand. He's conducting an exit interview, the kind you get when your job is about to be terminated. Because Neo's role was always temporary, always planned, always controlled. Neo asks the only question that matters.
Why am I here?
Translation: The Matrix isn't perfect. There's a math error in the code. That error is Neo. Or more accurately, the anomaly code that Neo carries inside him without even knowing it.
You are the eventuality of an anomaly which, despite my sincerest efforts, I have been unable to eliminate from what is otherwise a harmony of mathematical precision.
The architect tried to build a flawless system where every human stays asleep, plugged in, generating power forever. He failed. Neo is the glitch that keeps appearing in the code, no matter how many times the architect tries to patch it out. Neo isn't a revolutionary, he's a software bug, and bugs get debugged. The monitors around the room flicker to life, other faces appear, other Neos, past versions reacting with rage, confusion, disbelief.
Matrix is older than you know. I prefer counting from the emergence of one integral anomaly to the emergence of the next, in which case this is the 6th version.
Neo is number 6. There were 5 others before him who stood in that exact spot, heard these exact words, believed they were the first. The monitors show their reactions.
Others? How many? Others? What? Answer me.
Neo stays calmer than his predecessors.
There are only 2 possible explanations. There were 5 ones before me. Either no one told me, or no one knows.
Precisely.
Morpheus doesn't know. Trinity doesn't know. The entire population of Zion doesn't know. They think they're winning a war. They think they've discovered the truth. They haven't. They're all operating inside a larger system they can't see. Zion isn't the resistance. It's part of the machine's design. The rebellion is controlled opposition, a steam valve the machines installed to manage the humans who refuse to stay asleep. The architect leans back and begins his history lesson.
The first Matrix I designed was quite naturally perfect. It was a work of art, flawless, sublime, a triumph equaled only by its monumental failure.
The Paradise Matrix, a world without war, without pain, without suffering, heaven on earth. Humans rejected it instantly. Why? Because perfection felt wrong. Humans are wired for struggle. Give them paradise, and their subconscious minds reject the program outright. Entire crops of humans died because their brains couldn't accept a world without conflict.
Thus I redesigned it, based on your history, to more accurately reflect the varying grotesqueries of your nature. However, I was again frustrated by failure.
The Nightmare Matrix, the opposite approach. Pure suffering, darkness, pain. Humans rejected that too. The architect is a mathematician. He builds systems based on logic and precision, but he doesn't understand emotions, hope, irrational attachment, the illogical things that make humans human. He can calculate probability, but he can't predict why a mother would die for her child when survival logic says she shouldn't. The architect couldn't solve the human problem alone. He needed help. He needed someone who understood the irrational.
Thus the answer was stumbled upon by another, an intuitive program, initially created to investigate certain aspects of the human psyche. If I am the father of the Matrix, she would undoubtedly be its mother.
Neo realizes immediately.
The Oracle.
The Oracle wasn't a rebel. She was a program designed by the machines to study human psychology, and she found the answer the architect missed.
As I was saying, she stumbled upon a solution whereby nearly 99% of all test subjects accepted the program as long as they were given a choice, even if they were only aware of the choice at a near unconscious level.
Choice, the illusion of free will. Humans don't need actual freedom. They just need to believe they have options. Red pill or blue pill, fight or flight, stay asleep or wake up. The choice itself doesn't matter. What matters is the feeling that you chose your own path. That psychological trick made 99% of humans accept their imprisonment without question. But here's the problem.
While this answer functioned, it was obviously fundamentally flawed, thus creating the otherwise contradictory systemic anomaly.
1% rejected the program even with choice built in. That 1% woke up. They escaped to the real world, built Zion, started breeding, growing, preparing for war. If left unchecked, that 1% would eventually grow large enough to threaten the entire system. The machines need human bodies for power. They can't let the rejection spread. So what do the machines do? They let it happen. They let Zion grow. They let the rebels think they're winning. And when the population reaches a critical threshold, they wipe it out and start over.
You are here because Zion is about to be destroyed. Its every living inhabitant terminated, its entire existence eradicated.
Neo doesn't believe it.
Bullshit.
Denial is the most predictable of all human responses. But rest assured, this will be the 6th time we have destroyed it, and we have become exceedingly efficient at it.
Zion has been built and destroyed 5 times already. Every generation thinks they're the first. Every generation thinks they're finally going to win the war. They're wrong. The pattern repeats. Zion gets rebuilt, fills with rebels, grows to a certain size, then gets annihilated. The cycle continues forever. And the One? The One is the reset button.
The function of the One is now to return to the source, allowing a temporary dissemination of the code you carry, reinserting the prime program. After which you will be required to select from the matrix 23 individuals, 16 female, 7 male, to rebuild Zion.
This is what every previous one did. They reached this room, heard this speech, understood the math, and chose to save the species. They walked through the right door, uploaded their anomaly code back into the source, and handpicked 23 people to start Zion over from scratch. The machines kill everyone else. The cycle resets. The One isn't the liberator. The One is the system's janitor, cleaning up the mess every 100 years so the Matrix can keep running smoothly.
You won't let it happen. You can't. You need human beings to survive.
There are levels of survival we are prepared to accept. However, the relevant issue is whether or not you are ready to accept the responsibility for the death of every human being in this world.
Neo realizes the trap. The architect isn't bluffing. If Neo refuses to reload the Matrix, the entire system crashes. Everyone plugged in dies. Combine that with the extermination of Zion and the human race goes extinct. The machines would lose their power source, but they're willing to risk it. They've done the math. Neo hasn't. Then the architect reveals why Neo is different from the others.
It is interesting reading your reactions. Your 5 predecessors were, by design, based on a similar predication, a contingent affirmation that was meant to create a profound attachment to the rest of your species, facilitating the function of the One. While the others experienced this in a very general way, your experience is far more specific, vis-a-vis love.
The previous ones loved humanity as an abstract concept. They cared about the survival of the species in general. Neo doesn't. Neo loves one person, Trinity, and she's dying right now fighting an agent to save him.
Apropos, she entered the Matrix to save your life at the cost of her own.
The monitors show Trinity fighting, falling, dying.
No.
Which brings us at last to the moment of truth, wherein the fundamental flaw is ultimately expressed and the anomaly revealed as both beginning and end.
2 doors appear.
There are 2 doors. The door to your right leads to the source and the salvation of Zion. The door to your left leads back to the Matrix, to her, and to the end of your species. As you adequately put, the problem is choice.
Every previous one chose the right door. They chose the many over the one. They chose logic over emotion. They saved Zion and let their loved ones die.
We already know what you are going to do, don't we? Already I can see the chain reaction. The chemical precursors that signal the onset of an emotion, designed specifically to overwhelm logic and reason. An emotion that is already blinding you from the simple and obvious truth. She is going to die, and there is nothing you can do to stop it.
The architect sees Neo's brain chemistry changing in real time. He watches the emotions override the logic. He knows Neo is about to make the irrational choice, and he can't stop it. Neo walks to the left door, the door that leads back to Trinity, the door that dooms Zion, the door that breaks the cycle.
Hope. It is the quintessential human delusion, simultaneously the source of your greatest strength and your greatest weakness.
Neo turns back.
If I were you, I would hope that we don't meet again.
We won't.
Neo chooses love over species survival. He chooses one life over billions. Every calculation the architect made, every prediction, every probability model pointed to Neo making the rational choice. But Neo is the first one to be genuinely, irrationally, illogically in love. And love doesn't calculate. It doesn't weigh options. It doesn't care about the greater good. The architect thought he'd solved the human equation 5 cycles ago. Build Zion, let it grow, deploy the One, reset the system. He accounted for rebellion, for violence, for anger, for hope. But he never accounted for the specific, targeted, overwhelming love of one person for another person who matters more than the entire world. The Matrix wasn't broken by revolution. It wasn't broken by kung fu or bullets or philosophy. It was broken by Neo deciding that Trinity's life was worth more than the survival of the human race. That's what the architect scene actually means. Not riddles, not philosophy lectures. Just a cold logical program learning that humans can't be reduced to equations, that the variables the machines thought they controlled were never really under control at all. The scene everyone skips on rewatches is the scene that explains the whole trilogy. The architect wasn't the villain. He was the narrator telling you the truth you refused to believe, that your heroes were always pawns, that the war was always rigged, that freedom was always an illusion, until one pawn decided to flip the board instead of playing the game. Neo walked through the left door, and with that single irrational choice, he destroyed centuries of machine control. Not because he was stronger or smarter or more enlightened, but because he loved someone more than he feared the consequences. The architect's perfect system shattered against the one thing mathematics can't predict: a human willing to let the world burn for the person they love.